So when Jesus Christ came to earth, he entered Roman culture with Greek philosophy. You remember there was a clash between the two cultures when a question arose among the disciples of Jesus. By the way, the word disciple simply means students. So the Greeks believed that certain people were born to lead and the rest of us were born to follow. That's Greek philosophy. The Romans adopted that. That's why the Romans developed the idea of the superior race. The word Arion is a Latin word, Arion. And it has to do with superior. They believed that they were born to be the superior leaders of the world. Today we have that word used in America. Still, the Ku Klux Klan used the word Aryan or Aryan, you pronounce it. It means superior. That's a Greek idea which actually diminishes the masses and elevates the few. The Greeks believe that. The Romans adopted it. That's why the Caesars believed that they were actually sons of the gods. The rest of us were born to be slaves. So the disciples, the students of Jesus, were brought up with that idea. So they began to ask questions about leadership. You remember the question? They said, so who's going to be the greatest among us? Remember the question?
Yes.
They were battling with mental problems. They saw this thing growing. They saw the crowds coming. And they began to feel what some of you pastors feel. Boy, that must be important. So let's see which one of us is going to be the one who is the gifted one. The one that the gods would choose. Which one of us would be the greatest? But don't be surprised, this is a part of our culture, because remember that America was birthed from the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire disintegrated and became multiple kingdoms, which developed into France and Spain and Belgium and Portugal and England. These are all Roman empires. So the philosophy is still in their psyche. This is why it was easy to have slaves in the West. Because most of the folks that came here to build this country from Europe are Greek thinkers. The idea of leadership being reserved to an elite group of people is very prominent still. This is where you have these ideas of glass ceilings, where certain people can never come beyond a certain level because they are not gifted, they're not intellectually capable, whatever reasons they use. The Greeks and Romans had tremendous distinguishing thing. Matter of fact, if you study Greek philosophy on leadership, you'll find that they had 5 specific principles that you can reduce it to. One of them was birth trait theory. Birth trait theory, the Greeks believed that the gods gave certain people certain traits from birth that earmarked them for leadership. And if you didn't have those traits, you could never be a leader. For example, excuse me, one of their traits was blue eyes, blonde hair, sharp nose. This is serious. So when Jesus comes along, the Pharisees and scribes were all tainted by this, and now his disciples, who were born up in the synagogue, had the same leadership concept. And they said, who's going to be the greatest among us? He said, but it shall not be so among you. He was about to change the entire classroom. He was about to introduce an idea of leadership that is still, we're still trying to recover from it today. He brought back the leadership concept that was introduced in Genesis chapter 1. He brought it back 4,000 2,000 years later. He said, look, in my country, that's heaven, the greatest is the one who serves, not the one who controls. They never heard such a thing. See, in the Greek philosophy, leadership is measured by how many people serve you. So if you have a large congregation and they all worship you, then you must be a great leader. That's the Greek philosophy. Or if you carry around a large contingent of people who clean your fingernails and wash your shoes and carry you by, and stuff, then you must be a great leader. He said, educators are different. He said, in my kingdom it's reversed. Leadership is not measured by how many people serve you, but by how many people you serve.